Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi.
Very festive night to be here. Very nice.
Very yes. The
We're in the
Christmas.
holiday spirit, everyone.
We are. Like it or not, we're here. We're here.
That's where we are. Not sure where you are, but join us.
Yeah, it's the
Is this-
onslaught. It's the onslaught of Christmas. Sometimes it's good.
It
sometimes
is,
it's
yes.
Yeah.
There's always
You gotta
something good
get
to
into the
find.
mood quickly. It's not like being a kid. Like you just kind of have to like force yourself to be Christmassy. Like, you don't have that 45-day build up when you did when you were like 7. Now you just got like a 7-day build up and you're like,
Yeah,
shit.
It's true.
And then, yeah.
You know what
figure it
the
out.
thing? I think to be honest with you, Matt. I think I know how I could figure this out, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm not sure how we do it, but the best way for me to get into the holiday spirit when I was younger was to get the J.C. Penney's catalog and the Sears catalog and circle
Oh my
toys
God.
that I
Absolutely.
wanted.
Absolutely. The
Yes.
Sears Rich book and whatever the J.C. Penney equivalent was. Because these were the only 2 vendors. Like that was like
That's-
where you got
that's right.
That was
stuff. Yeah, this
it.
was
That's pretty much it.
Now, if we can find something like that for adults to get them in the mood, I mean, maybe it's an OnlyFans thing. I have no idea. I have no idea. But if we could find the equivalent of that, that would be amazing, right? It would get everybody in the mood, in the spirit.
Well, Amazon, to their credit, does do like their own physical like gift book for kids now.
I have seen
which is
that,
interesting. Yeah, which was I thought was cute. I thought it was cute.
I did too.
Yeah,
I actually
dig it.
saved the stickers from that. Actually.
Oh, they do keep stickers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can
don't, like,
put
have
little
children,
stickers like
so,
"I
you know.
want this." You know? 'Cause they
I
don't
love
they don't
that.
trust the kids to be able to read and or write, so they got to put some stickers.
Oh, they
on there.
shouldn't. Yeah, it's kind of atrocious what's happening right now with the youths.
With the Utes.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, are you guys ready for the big Christmas season? It's I mean,
Yeah, I think so. Did you guys get your shopping done? Have you wrapped everything? Do you wrap or do you just shove it in a bag like me, throw some tissue on it, and then put a little sticker on the to whoever from Jonas and Jess?
now that is my preferred way of doing it, but there are some things we will wrap for the nieces and the nephews. They're younger; it's not quite as fun to just reach into a bag.
That's true.
But now, having said that, we've certainly done that because we're lazy. so,
Yeah, I respect
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Well, then it's usually like the bag that you got from another gift. So it is.
absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
It's like it keeps
For
the cycle
sure.
alive.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
really much appreciated.
It's like that Yankee candle that you get and you keep regifting it, and it just goes around the entire family until at some point you get it back yourself 5
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
Ah,
The
yeah.
smell is someone else's house. I think that's
Yeah.
the candle.
The smell is
Oh.
I'm just gonna say it's a wood shop, 1880 or 1984. That's the scent that I want. Fire that baby up.
Oh, those stores are awful. I haven't been to a mall in a hot minute, but do you remember the Yankee candle stores? Have you guys
I've
ever
never-
been
Oh,
to one? It's like
oh,
Bath and
yes.
Body Works, but worse.
I haven't. I imagine it's all horrifying because the whole point of getting one of those candles is they smell very fragrant, right? And so if you've
Very.
got 1,000 other fragrances just
They
intermingling,
just converge in this like black cloud of gross.
yeah, I
Fake
have
scent.
Not good.
Yeah, I'm sure it's awful. I mean, how do you even? I mean, you know how you cleanse your palate before you drink wine if you're doing wine tastings? How the fuck do you do that in a Yankee
There's
candle
no
store?
fucking way. It's not possible. And those poor bastards. First of all, the people that work in retail, God, if I win the lottery, you're getting money. I don't know who you are, like friends of mine, you're just getting some.
Yeah.
But that sucks. Then on top of it, it's like you work at the Yankee candle store. You have to inhale all this shit all the time. I don't get
true.
it.
That's true.
Yeah.
The long-term effects of working in the Yankee candle industry have yet to be determined. So
That's true.
one day we will figure out, like,
It's like vaping. We don't know the science.
We don't
That's
know.
true.
Yeah.
What happened to you? It'll be like what was it? The black lung that the miners got. It'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Lilac.
Shouldn't laugh at that. That's
something.
awful.
Encephalitis.
Okay.
The lilac lung.
He opened the story. He opened the book. So I'm saying it black lung is technically called pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicon volcaniconiosis. Just had to say that. That's it.
Wow.
Bye.
That was wow.
Whoa! Oh my God, Tice. All right, now
Impressive.
spell that.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
We got time.
uh, I don't spell. That's not
Okay.
my thing. I'm more of an orator. Or
It's an order.
Is that what you said in elementary school when you were at the spelling bee and you're like, I don't know this word. I'm just gonna make some shit up.
to this day, I cannot spell across. I always had an extra C, and my phone gets mad at me every time. So, not a great speller. One time
It's fine.
I spelled speller with three L's. I don't know what to do.
Stellar.
Anyway,
I still
but
have to go for Wednesday.
yeah, that's a tough
Like
one,
every
I
right?
time
do
I
too.
yeah,
I do
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Hate
Yeah,
And
it. Yeah.
February drives me nuts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yep.
Yeah.
that one
Same.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I like have the same like I have like it just they won't leave. Like I misspell words and that's never going to change. Like they are
yeah,
in there.
Yep.
I
yep.
could go to a class or something maybe college. I don't know something, but nope. Microsoft Word's got me set. They'll let
Uh,
me
Yep.
know. They'll let me know. Give
Bless
me a
it.
little squiggly.
Yeah.
Like hey guy, pay attention.
I one time was Matt. This is so stupid, but one time I was working. So Matt and I used to work for this company called Propylon, and we did legislative software. And one of the guys that I was working with the lawyers. Lawyers, people had law degrees. Let's just put it like that. Who would write the law, and they're like, "Well, I like the way that Microsoft Word fixes what I'm spelling." And I'm like, well, that's fine. I was like, but you're writing the law, so you
Yeah.
can't, you can't, you can't depend on Clippy to fucking fix something for you if it's going to be voted into law. And they didn't like that at all. But anyway, that's okay.
No,
It sounds like a
no.
Norm Macdonald bit, or maybe it was just your delivery. You
Maybe
write the law.
it's true. They do.
They
They
do.
do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
to be fair,
can't.
for Kansas, so
Ah, that's no, that's a
yeah.
good point.
So
It
I
doesn't
was
really matter that much.
I was reminded of this Beth. So for she doesn't listen to the podcast. Doesn't matter. My niece, I got she started playing keyboard this year, so I bought her a book
That's
of
cool.
yeah. So I bought her a book of TV themes because she's a TV fanatic, and her
Mhm.
favorite show is The Office, and it has The Office
Oh, cool.
music in it, right? And I was just naming off. There's over like 100, you know, different things because TV theme songs are short, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, so I was so I don't know if you remember this, Matt, but um, I said, "Oh, it's got the Jeopardy theme," and she's like, "What's what?" And I'm like, "Da da 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 da," and she's like, "Oh, I know that. I know that because our system stopped working, and the entirety of the Senate started singing that to us as we were trying to fix it."
yes,
Do you
that
remember
is,
that, Matt?
that is a true story. Oh, I absolutely
Wow.
remember that. Yeah,
Apparently, Greg, was working on the floor at the time, still wakes up in cold sweats about that. You know, and
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
blame him. By the way.
It was it was very slow, and it was they made that readily like it was. I mean, it was subtle, but it was pretty harsh. It was pretty harsh.
I
Still can't hear that theme song without
yeah, it's a tough one, right? Kind of ruins Jeopardy a little bit.
it does. Yeah, well, thought Mayim Bialik did that, but
Oh, there it is. Smith, are you
Heyo.
so happy that she's no longer a host?
yeah, I will. Well, they
She's
just
kicked off, right? Or did
she
she get
wasn't.
fired, or what's the
She was.
story?
They said it was kind of the language was a little nebulous. It was kind of like kind of left it open for her to do like specials and stuff because I think they announced that she would no longer be hosting the syndicated version of Jeopardy, which I think is main. I think
Right.
that is Jeopardy. I think it's all
Yeah.
syndicated now. I mean, she wasn't bad. I mean, I like Blossom as much as the next guy, but she just wasn't a good like. She wasn't a great host. Like she was okay, but like Ken Jennings was just like that dude just owned
He's
Jeopardy.
awesome.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah,
yeah.
he
So
owns
I mean,
it.
but
Yeah.
no, so she got a run. That was fine. But,
I never
so we
actually
move on.
saw. I never saw one of her episodes, but the thing I liked about Ken Jennings, I saw a couple of his, is that he was as smart or as smart as Alex Trebek seemed to be.
That's
So
yes, right,
Yes.
right. So there
yes,
was no just like hee, no, whoops, I made the mistake. I thought you were right too, but the judge
right.
said I'm wrong. So you know, so I don't know. I
Mine was better for like Celebrity Jeopardy, I felt like. Cause like she
You see
is
that?
a
Yeah,
pseudo
she's a celebrity.
celebrity and yeah.
She's yeah, yeah.
she's a national icon. No,
Okay, fine.
I'm
You say icon, I
I said
say
potato.
pseudo celebrity. Yeah,
Tater,
potato, tater tot. Uh
tater tot. What?
Speaking of Celebrity Jeopardy, did you guys see that Rachel Dratch beat Macaulay Culkin? Did you see
No,
that episode? I've
No.
been into it. It's great. It's fantastic.
we
I don't
started
want to
watch
ruin anything, but Final Jeopardy is like one of the best I've seen.
we started watching that just for fun, because
We
based
have
on your
it on in the background while we cook, and like we'll try to think of the answer before they blurt it. Yeah, it's
Idea.
super fun. Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's
But
see.
yeah, I was pretty impressed with the celebrity. You can't watch the syndicated one on any of my streaming services,
nope, yeah,
but you can't watch it. I was like, it's fun. I'm glad it's still going.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I think like didn't like somebody host it before Alex Trebek? Like it's an old show. Like it's from
Yeah,
like
it's
the
an old
'60s,
yeah.
I think. So
Yeah, Burt Bacharach hosted it. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. I don't know.
you did everything.
Producers, yeah,
I
Don't
think
verify
that's
that.
true.
it was somebody famous though that like went on to do other stuff. And I'll just go ahead and look that up now. You guys
Yeah,
talk amongst yourself.
your producers on that. Smith, different background. Where are you at, buddy?
So I'm at my folks' house up in my mom's sewing room, which
Cool.
is a
Used to be your room.
always the portrait of my little brother
I love that
as a
portrait.
small child. Yes, always it's
That's
the highlight of
adorable.
this room. It takes me back to a simpler time. He's in a little sailor suit. Yeah,
It's very cute. It's very
yeah.
cute.
Oh, so okay, sorry to interrupt, but Art Fleming hosted it from 1964 to
Art Fleming?
1979. Art
Wow.
Not
Fleming.
Okay.
familiar. Okay.
Yeah, he actually started a coup in Cuba. Did you guys know that?
I did.
No,
Oh.
I no, I don't know. I don't
Hmm. It's
Oh,
like,
like
who
for a hell
did
of a
this
Jeopardy question.
Wikipedia page? Yeah.
know. Just disinformation tonight. That's where I'm at
I
today.
like
Yeah, I
that.
can see that. That's
Yeah.
loud and clear. We're gonna have to put a disclaimer on this. Actually, we should put a disclaimer on every fucking episode, to be honest.
Probably should. Yeah. We just need to like something. I don't know. Probably consult with an attorney and just be like, what would basically absolve us of all wrongdoing ever? Um, talk to Rudy. Rudy's out of money, so we'll talk to Giuliani's attorney. Maybe that guy's got some ideas, but I don't know. His track record's not
He's
great.
definitely got some cool hair ideas.
He does have some
Let's
great
talk to
hair.
him about that. Oof.
Yeah,
Did you?
yeah. I don't know
Did,
what. I think I sent that picture out to you guys, but I first noticed that like when he was given a press interview where he like basically did the same exact thing again, and so they've charged him again with
again?
defamation.
Yeah.
Actually, he's done it twice now because he did it on Newsmax too. Because the dude's out of money, and he's like, "Fuck, who cares? Like, I'm out of money. Like, let Rudy be Rudy." I think so. Yeah, that. But no, but his attorney like had like this. It was just like it was like kind of like
The
a
gray
faux
hair.
hawk, but then like the rest of his head was shaved, and it was very fitting. I thought
I did too. It
it
was
was very fitting.
perfect. If I were
But
to
yeah,
think of a haircut for Rudy's lawyer, it would be that for sure. Yeah.
absolutely yes. So yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, my
Yeah.
goodness,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
goodness,
We
poor
will.
Rudy.
Got some interesting thoughts about that. But anyway, yeah, we'll get to that. Sorry.
We'll
We
get to
will.
that.
We will.
So this is so this year, this is our year in review episode, right? Where we have
Yes.
put on our wacky sweaters and and now we're going to, I guess, go through, I don't know, our top 10 list. One of my my resolutions for next year is that I have a little note on Apple Notes, this little guy here,
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
and I just every week after we do the show, I just wipe everything off and then I add new stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to stop doing that because I want to be able to be like, these are the top headlines of the year. I would like to be able to go back and check them. And I know Matt has a spreadsheet,
Oh,
which is smart. So
yes. Smith is more organized than us for sure.
and so yeah. So my New Year resolution is to make sure that I keep individual notes per broadcast, and then I can go back and find out
Yay.
what is the top 5 personally ridiculous headlines I can
It's a good
find.
resolution to have. I think it's
I like that. Smith,
I
do you
used to
have
be
any show resolutions? I guess I have a couple.
um and just to be more prepared. I think in general to be a better friend. Other than that, no, not really.
Well, I mean, there is a certain amount of unpreparedness that I think people find charming, so I'm
I do
okay with
too.
that.
I think that
I'm
is
okay with
part
that.
of the aesthetic of Jabberjaw.
You don't want to seem
Uh,
overburdened, like
No,
yeah,
no.
exactly. Yeah,
which we're doing a great job at that. I think.
yeah,
We
yeah.
are.
We
Off
really are. We really
the
are.
cuff.
Nailed it.
We should thank Zencaster for that.
We should, yeah,
Yes.
because that's
Thank you
the
for
thing, right?
another
It's like
year of who knows how the fuck this is going to turn out.
right. We can only trust
Appreciate you.
Zencaster so much. Like if we were to put a lot of effort into this, we could spend like 2 hours recording, and it's just gone. Like, and it's like, what would be the point there? So
True.
we will put
No,
in the
Smith,
level
it's
of
in the
effort.
cloud. According to Zencaster, it's in the cloud
Right.
somewhere.
But then
Yes.
you have to like
Yeah.
call someone, and they have to like go
Yeah.
fetch it, and they have to go
We're
out
not
to the
going to do
cloud
that.
and fetch it
Yeah.
and
We'll
bring it
just
back
record.
down.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Just cut that shit out. We'll just do another one. It's fine.
Yep. It's going to happen. Yeah. One of these days, we'll have clips that we'll put on the internet. We'll have a store. We'll have all kinds of
It
things.
will.
I do think that just to be fair, Zencaster has gotten more stable since we
I
first
They
will.
started
I
have,
using.
will.
yes, they
Yeah,
have worked out some of the kinks.
They have. They
yeah.
That
have.
is
So
true. Way to be positive,
It
Tice.
was positive.
yeah,
That was positive. That was nice of
I'm
you.
trying. I'm
Not sure they
It
trying.
was
completely earned it,
nice.
but it was nice.
It's
It's like
It's
a
Christmas.
little
Christmas.
gift.
We can be nice to Zencaster for Christmas.
That's nice.
This is our gift to you, in addition to the fees and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
In addition to the fees.
yeah.
I
And
will
the
say they got rid of that fucking crazy $200 a year bullshit that pops up out of nowhere. Remember
did
that,
they get
guys?
rid? Yeah, did they get rid of that
They did.
hosting time? Hosting
Yeah.
time. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's a
Yeah.
fucking cloud. I know how much it costs to get a gig worth of fucking, and it's a couple cents. So
It's
fuck
very
you guys.
low. It's
Yeah. I think they got blasted for that. So finally, yeah, it's resonated. Thank you. It was a nice little present.
Yeah,
it was.
that's good.
I love it. What are you guys
Uh,
doing for Christmas? What are the Christmas plans?
Us,
uh,
we're chilling out here for until the 31st. We're actually not going. We're going back to Lawrence and gonna spend New Year's at in Lawrence. We were there last night. We actually stayed at the Oriad. Are you guys familiar with
oh
that
yeah, yeah.
hotel? And
Is that the one on Mass Street, or is
it's
that
on
where is that?
campus. Like
It's on
Oh,
it's
okay.
basically like it's on campus. And I think it probably built it, I don't know what, 12, 13 years ago, something
Yeah,
like that.
it's on the same site that the original Yellow Sub was on.
That is correct. That is correct. We were
Mm.
talking about that. And there used to
Oh,
be like
yellow sub. Fuck.
there was an old bar. It was one of the bars that like you went as a freshman, like the O or the Wheel. I forgot what it was. One of the sort of like all drinkers welcome, all
Right.
ages.
Yeah.
Didn't oh god, Just White work at one of those ties? One of those bars that
She worked at.
Smith is talking about?
She actually worked at Minsky's. I don't know if she worked
Oh,
there.
never mind. Okay. Who
Uh,
was it? Anyway, I'm brain
well,
farting.
the Oriards
Somebody
night.
we know worked there. Yeah.
I spent I think New Year's Eve one there with Sally and mom and dad and Sally's date, who's long gone now. But it was nice. Did you go up to the top and look around?
So we did not do that, but we did get a free upgrade. So we actually got our own balcony. So from like the
Cool.
main entrance, there's a huge balcony over like the main entrance, and that was like off our room. So I think
Oh,
it was
nice.
just because nobody else was staying there. We had like a 500 square foot room, and it was fun. So my buddy Ryan Glendenning came over, and we had a
Nice.
couple brewskis and chatted. Got some
Man,
India Palace, which is still probably my favorite Indian restaurant anywhere.
Yes.
Good stuff. So if you're in the area, highly
oh,
recommend it.
those people are hanging on for dear life, man.
Oh, they've been open forever. Yeah,
Ever. I know.
but it
Well,
was yeah.
Do you remember that night? You probably don't remember this. You and I went to Replay Lounge, and we were sitting at a table, and these three Arab young ladies came and
I
sat
do
with
remember
us,
this.
and we got talked to, and she looked like a Disney princess. She was gorgeous, and I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh, and so we found out that her parents owned Indian Palace. Do you remember this?
I do remember that. Yeah. I do because I
Yeah,
That's
remember you
cool.
said, "Hey, you look like a Disney princess,"
princess.
and you
Yep,
did.
that's not very cool. That's very on brand for Tyson. Hey,
I mean, that's
I
a
was.
pretty
Do you
high.
see the shock on my face right now? Yeah.
Yeah,
actually she was very flattered. I just thought I was like vaguely racist, even as I said it, just like, right out of my mouth. I was like, "Have you seen Aladdin? You look like the fucking character sheet."
God
No,
damn it.
no, they were very nice though, and we danced with them. Matt and I actually danced with these three
I,
girls.
Oh my god, you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's
adorable.
yeah, yeah. Matt is alarmingly charming when he's drunk.
Yes, that
people
is
well,
feel
yeah,
true.
it's just
and people feel
there's a
safe around him.
bar that I
He
reach.
is,
Yeah,
unless he's not into some of the people around.
and
There have been
yeah,
a couple
I'm not
moments with
charming.
Chrissy
No,
Tippy in the past where
then I just get.
I've actually been proud of Smith and his comments.
That's a very nice way of putting that. Thank you. It's
You're
opposite of
welcome,
charm.
buddy. No, yeah, yes, very much.
What is the opposite of charming? I'm
Lucky
trying.
enough for you, Chrissy didn't care, so
That's
it's
true.
just
Yeah,
more fuel for
we were
that
probably
is
fire.
all on the same place. Yeah,
is I think maybe disgruntled is the opposite of charming. I'm not
oh, it might
sure.
be. It might be
Maybe,
actually.
yeah.
Maybe.
Ask. I should. What are those synonym books? What are they?
Synonym.
There
The
you go.
Yeah.
thesaurus. The thesaurus. Yeah.
Yeah, I just happen to have this right here.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Uh,
there you go. Nice.
that's not really relevant to this. So I just thought it was funny
Not
that
at
I had
all.
it right here. So, uh, that's an
I
Easter egg for you people that are listening to it but aren't watching it. There you go.
That's true.
go to YouTube now. We're
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
Been there, waiting for you.
Free joke. Free joke for all YouTube goers. Free joke.
It's like a price tier thing. You know, you could get
uh,
3 extra visual jokes if only you will subscribe to our YouTube
oh.
channel.
Tell them what they've won. Yeah. So yeah. What are your guys' plans for the holiday?
Oh, go ahead,
And
Doss. You go. Mine's boring.
I will be headed to Hayes with my husband on Friday, and we'll be staying through until probably Monday. Because I do have to work a little bit next week, a little bit more than I thought. So that's fun.
Boo.
But then, yeah, for New Year's, we always do a staycation in Denver.
oh, nice.
Since we've lived here, so we're gonna stay downtown at a nice hotel and have cocktails at Union Station. We always like to try a new sushi restaurant, so have reservations for a new one. The name is escaping me. I'm sure I'll plug it. Hopefully, I plug it and it's not an unplug. Uh, and then we're gonna go to Meow Wolf. We always try to do
Oh,
something artsy on New Year's Day. So last year we went to the Denver Art Museum. That was super cool. Uh, I was extremely hungover. Jonas doesn't get hangovers, but he was also like, my feet hurt. It's a big museum, but we had a good time. We're just gonna switch it up this year. See what the kids are talking about with Meow Wolf and all the new displays and stuff. So
now
yeah, it'll be
isn't
fun.
isn't isn't kind of a meow wolf kind of like a drop an edible kind of thing before you go?
Oh, you have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
To
right.
really experience it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that when we head out there because that sounds.
Oh,
It
we're
sounds
gonna do that. Casa Bonitas. I've got a whole
Oh yeah, we
list
got to
of
definitely
things.
get. Yeah, although they like send me like an ad for like they must like just be living off merch sales right now because I get so many ads for them from like they're just making everything. So I'm kind of like
The merch is
eye
insane.
on
And
the
you still
prize.
can't make like a regular reservation. Like you have to get an
yeah, I
email from them that's like, hey, you and up to what, like 8 guests can come in this Saturday at this certain time. And it's like, I have plans. What the fuck? This sucks.
yeah
Yeah,
I agree. Like I've tried to like you sign up on their website. I've never
Mm-hmm.
gotten anything, and I'm like, well, I will drive 10 hours to eat your stupid fucking Mexican food, you know, just just so I can watch a mariachi band dive off a cliff, and like that. I'll do it. I'm in. Whatever. But yeah, no, I definitely I definitely want to hit that over there.
We will. We will. But yeah, it should be a good time. Tice, what are you up to?
Well, it's a little weird this year. My dad's it's had some. Well, that actually doesn't actually matter. So tomorrow night, Sally's having an ugly sweater party, which is why I'm wearing
Love it.
my backup ugly sweater. They might be giants.
Very nice.
Leg. Uh,
Tune into YouTube to see what it says and what it looks like.
that's right. I'm saving the Black Santa for tomorrow. It's a good conversation piece. Also roots out the racist in any kind of situation.
Yes, it does.
Uh,
Sure.
It's gorgeous.
so Sally's having a party tomorrow. And my mom and dad are going to be here with their two dogs. They're going to stay here, and then we're going to go over there. And then on Saturday, wait, is that right? I think it's Sunday actually. Sunday is Christmas Eve, right? So Sunday,
Yes.
Beth's brother and his family are going to come over here, and they're going to cook dinner. And then on Christmas Day, mom and dad will still be here, and then we're going to invite some friends over to just hang out for Christmas. Uh, I was telling Beth last night, this is the first Christmas since I was an adult. And actually, because we went to different places when I was a kid, this is actually literally the first time was thinking further about it that everyone is coming to me on Christmas.
Mm.
Oh, wow. That's a big
Isn't
deal.
it's crazy, right? Because you
Yeah.
always go to grandparents' house, or I go to Sally's house because she's got a bigger house and she's got
Yeah.
five kids or whatever, and all this stuff. But this year, because of my back, uh, everyone is going to come here, which is pretty cool, actually. And I was like, I don't think this is going to happen again in our lifetime, so we should enjoy this. I was like, unless we have and I told Beth, I was like, you know what we need to do? If we have to have surgery, we should do it 2 days before Christmas or 2 days after Christmas, and that way we can just keep this thing going, But
Yeah.
it's not worth the extra surgery. I don't need butt implants that bad, to screw up everybody else's Christmas. So, uh,
They're so in, though, Tice.
I know. Well, I've got a naturally good.
Bet you could get a discount on that Kardashian special.
I have my mom's ass. People have told me that for years. It's fine. It's a good ass. There's actually
That's a good quote.
there was a thread actually between me and a few of my friends from bands, and they confirmed years later that they said that I had the nicest ass in Orlando. Because I used
Didn't
to
they
wear these.
call it muffin butt or something?
Yeah, muffin butt.
Wasn't there?
Because
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
the thing is, I would wear these this baby blue leisure suit, and however it worked, it looked like I was wearing no underwear underneath. So it was like, so it just had this thing. And then I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I was asked to be in a thing, in a music video where the lyric is nice car leisure suit muffin butt. I was asked to be in it because I had a leisure suit, and that was the only person that they knew who had a leisure suit. But then the muffin butt thing became the whole thing of the whole deal,
Yeah.
and cultivating into a video where Mandaddy introduced me as Mutton Butt himself, Muffin Butt himself, Bring Back Joel, that guy from Bring Back Joel, and then they played a clip of us playing, and that didn't help either, by the way. So, so yeah, so I got my mom's ass. What are you gonna do about it? I don't know.
Wear a leisure suit. I think you made
Leisure
the
suit,
right
that's
you
right.
made the right call. You can get it out there. Get it out
I'm
there.
actually
Yep.
if we do play this show in March, I'm gonna wear the leisure suit. So that's
Hell
so
yeah.
I'm very excited. So we'll just see how if that works out at all. But anyway, uh, what were we talking about?
I don't know. We talked about your ass for a while.
Yeah, we
We
did.
did.
A long while.
I mean, like a couple
That's
months.
gonna
Well
be a
deserved
fun
time.
hashtag
You know.
Tyson's ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. So anyway, so everyone's gonna be here for Christmas, and the Chiefs are playing on Christmas Day. There's football days.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're gonna get the crokinole board down, and just have some fun. And I actually we got so last year. Oh, you know what? They don't listen to this podcast. It doesn't matter. So last year, my nephew Sally's boy Lincoln got an electric guitar and an amplifier,
Uh-huh.
and he's been learning to play using apps. And his sister Leah got a keyboard, and she's been using apps to learn how to play. So
Cool.
I bought Lincoln a multi effects guitar pedal. So
Nice.
Nice.
yeah. So it'll be fun to show him how it works. And then I got Leah, who is a TV fanatic, a book of piano music for over, I would say, over 80 different theme songs for television shows.
So are you guys going to start a family band?
That is
Is
the
this going to be
plan.
like a Partridge Family thing?
It has Sally's like,
Okay.
I guess Sally's like, I guess I'll do tambourine. I was like, Sally, you dance coordinator. You do you do the choreography. Yeah. So it has been discussed. I mean, yeah, but it won't happen. But it's still a nice idea. So anyway, yeah. So
I'm into it. That
yeah,
sounds
So
great.
like more you like to be in the Joe Jackson figure and kind of, just sort of cultivating
yeah. I'll
this
go one.
project.
I'll go one further for you. I'll be the I'll be the Reuben Kincaid of the group.
There you go.
I
Oh,
don't.
wow.
You
Yes.
know who that is?
I do know
I
who that
don't.
is.
Who is
That was the
that?
manager for the Partridge Family, right?
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it? Oh,
he's,
shit. Okay.
I'll be the Reuben Kincaid,
Throwing it
to the
back.
Joe Jackson. There you go. So anyway,
I think he was a little friendlier than Joe Jackson.
he was way friendlier. He
He's
was
not known for
Yes,
his white
yes.
touch.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
on a scale to Gandhi to fucking Bing Crosby. He was about lower left down there, somewhere. Sorry, did you guys know Ben Crosby beat the shit out of his kids? You probably didn't know
I
Did
do
that.
not, but
now.
I
That
mean, he's like
sucks.
he's like a
Jesus.
seasonal dude. He hasn't like
why,
Ben
why
Crosby done for his Christmas hits.
why do you think why do you think David Crosby wrote such sad songs? Oh my god.
I
God.
have no idea they were related. I
Get,
just assumed. I didn't know.
I'm getting
It's
the holiday
news to
sads
me.
now. God damn it, Tice.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
here's another one I just found out this year. You know the Glenn Miller band.
Yeah?
Yeah. His son is Steve Miller from the Steve Miller Band. Did
I
you
didn't
know
know that
that?
either.
I
No,
didn't
no.
know that.
No.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
I was like, and I was like, oh my god, it kind of makes perfect sense. He just did what his dad did, except he made it a rock band.
Yeah,
Uh,
Fucking way.
is that crazy? Yeah,
that
That's
is crazy.
so crazy. You guys know that Glassman's what was it, great uncle was in the Glenn Miller band, right? He
I
played
did not know
trumpet.
that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and my dad were buds back in the day. It's
Really?
a whole
Oh,
Maxwell thing going
small
on there.
world. Oh,
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. All
it is.
connected.
It is.
Okay, so one more question before we get into the year review. What do you guys want for Christmas?
Oh, geez.
It can be as esoteric as you like, or it can actually be a product. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. Smith, you go first.
I
I
don't
have
really
so
know
many
that
things.
I mean, sure, I want stuff, but like for Christmas, I don't know. I'll tell you what I want. I tell you what I want.
Oh, I'll
So
show you what I want, actually.
we have always done for the past like at least 20 years. My mother has done like stocking stuffers, and we've played this game amongst the three children where we go around one by one, and then we look at each present wrapped, and we try to guess what it is.
Huh?
And so then as we
Oh, I love that.
so she would use like 8 to 10 gifts each, like little stuff, but like important stuff, like a spatulas and things like that, things that you
Rape
use,
whistle,
practical
whatever.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done that for a number of years, and then whoever has guessed the most correctly wins like a prize of sorts, so a bonus prize.
Uh-huh.
I have won every year except for 1 year where my brother-in-law Will beat me. So I don't know. I think we are doing it this year, but there have always been sort of like common items that I get from that I sort of rely upon because I never buy them for myself. So socks and underwear. I don't know that I've ever bought my own underwear. My mother, and I'm proud of this, still provides my underwear.
Yeah,
That's
right.
great. That's
And
great.
That's
socks.
awesome.
So, we get like some Bombas socks, which are very nice. So that keeps me going throughout the entire year. Pat's beef jerky is also
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's
a
great.
Oh,
fun one.
Yeah.
yep.
So that's kind of what I want. It's nice. It's nice to get those things. It's
I
comforting
love
to.
that.
But I
I
need
want.
new underwear too. So
I don't know how it worked out exactly, Smith, but when we moved away, you went out of the big house. I ended up with a pair of your underwear, and I knew they were your underwear because we shared what I would say was a hamper that was an actual room. and somehow I
Yes.
managed to get a pair of your underwear, which were like Gap or it was they were the nicest underwear I'd ever had. And I was like,
She
holy
buys
shit,
nice
what have I
underwear.
been?
Like,
She does.
yeah.
I was like, how did I miss out on this shit? Uh,
It's amazing. The
yeah,
cooling
Spared
technology
no
would
expense.
blow you away. It is
I love it.
amazing what they've been able to do
yeah.
with,
I don't. I think they burned down in the fire, but I still had them up until like fucking 5 years ago.
glad they got a lot of use and served a good life. So
Oh, they did. You wouldn't want those back, Matt Smith. I'm just promising.
yeah, that's what
Uh, that's pretty
You
good.
can see it on Smith's face. Ty's just keep those if you still have them.
it's good. It's cool. It's cool.
They're
It's
gone.
cool. Yeah.
They were sacrificed to the heat gods. Uh, yeah, that's pretty good. Actually, I actually always that was the thing at my mom's parents' houses. They did the stocking thing, and I just always thought that was really cool because you open all the gifts, and then we went down and did the stockings. So you almost forgot that there were more gifts, and it was like, oh shit, extra gifts. I was like, so I
Yeah.
always like that. I like that. Uh, we don't do that here because the dogs would chew up the stockings. That's not a lie. But 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 we should maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll try and do it.
Hang
Yeah,
it
I
from
like
the
it.
I
ceiling.
did see a
Yeah, yeah.
billboard. I did see a billboard because we were driving through Missouri, and since and it's been a few months. It's been probably since last year, which we've driven through Missouri, and so now, like all the billboards, as they rightfully should be, have been replaced with like weed billboards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it talked about like how weed made a perfect stocking stuffer, and I was like, yeah, it kind of does.
Kind
Like
of
that's
does,
not a
yeah.
terrible idea. And everyone appreciates drugs for Christmas, and so
That's true.
Heck yeah.
yeah. So I thought that parents, pay attention if you're ever on your way through Missouri.
Yeah.
It's,
I
it's
mean,
really the gift that
either that or give your kids your leftover oxycodone. Just whatever. Like this.
Yeah.
it is Missouri.
Yeah.
Throwing a couple bath salts in there just for the fuck of it. Let's see how it goes.
And they are
Some
Dawson. I
fucking
don't know.
matches for all the pyromaniacs out there. Yeah.
Like their drivers, Dawson, are the worst on the planet.
Thank you, Smith. The
Oh my
worst.
God.
Absolutely the worst.
Like
Jonathan, I hate it.
their merging technique is pray and gun it. Like it is.
That's yes. Oh my
insane.
God, dude.
It's
It's
almost had
insane.
like 3 accidents just getting through Missouri. It was terrible. Oh,
I'm
Wait,
not
wait, wait.
surprised.
I feel for you. Wear a helmet. It's
What
bad.
drivers? What drivers? Sorry.
Just
Like
drivers in general in Missouri.
Yeah,
They're
well,
like
that's
the
automobile
worst.
drivers.
that's because
Yeah.
that highway sucks nuts.
Oh,
Because
the highways in Missouri, you're so right. Like
That's
they're
true
the
too.
worst.
Yeah.
yeah,
As
just
soon
that
as you hit Missouri Highway, it's like a pothole, a literal pothole, and then you're like, "Oh, we're in Missouri now," and then it's just like that the rest of the way.
they passed some legislation this year to expand both to 3 lanes, I-70 all the way back and forth, and it actually got funded. So I think it might
Oh
happen.
no shit.
Which would be
Okay.
great because the problem with that drive. Sometimes we go north into Iowa to just circumvent it because it's almost
That's what
such
we went
fast.
north to Pica and then went over
Yeah,
because we
That's a
didn't
good
want to mess
idea.
with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
because
like 70 is like in Kansas is still just like as dead as it always is, which I
right.
love. Like I
Oh,
love
I do
driving. I will
too.
never
Fucking
complain
love
about
it.
not
It's the
being bored
best.
again because I'm not going to get killed. Like or at
Yeah.
least have the reaction time to
Never.
prevent a death. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they could fix those things, but even still, like Missouri roads just in general. This is a known if you live in the area, and you guys know, right?
Yeah.
Missouri roads are just not great. Cheap taxes. You can buy bath salts at the fucking convenience store, and and and,
There are perks. There are perks.
and
Missouri
I will give you
always had
that.
the cheap. Like when I used to smoke, like oh man, like I made a point to stop in Missouri because it was like $1.60 a pack, like 10 years ago. Like it was a different world in there. It was crazy. Like that's some MAGA bullshit I could get behind, but that just it was
Hell
nice.
yeah. Yeah. Back when I was smoking and I was living in New York, I'd come back for the holidays and it went from like $18 a pack in New York to, like you're saying, Smith, like $1.50. And I literally teared up once, like buying cigarettes. It's like, thank you, sir.
You don't know what this means to me.
Fucking made my day.
Why are you crying?
It's a Christmas miracle.
Petro 2 man said, yeah.
He had 3 teeth, but you know what? Was
Oh, but it
able to
was
make out
charming.
some of the
Every
words.
time
Yeah.
you go into a convenience store in Missouri, you never know what you're going to get.
Oof.
It
Never
is,
know.
it will be entertaining. You're
And
just
if
going to
you're
be
a
talking
woman with short hair like myself, you get the glares from
about.
hell.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
From
yeah.
sure.
a woman with a mullet every time. It's like, I don't know why you're glaring at me looking like that. It's a whole thing I have. Yeah,
Well, you're there filling up your Subaru. I mean, they put a couple things together, and then
they definitely do. Yeah, fucking hippies.
They're like,
So,
she
yeah,
either owns a dog or munches bush. I don't know.
or both, all of the
Or
above.
both.
I'm
I
like,
don't know.
you got it, girl. Fill her up.
When Matt and I moved from Orlando, I'm pretty sure this is true. I think I was with Matt. Matt and I moved from Orlando to back to Kansas the first time. Uh, well, I've only done it once. Matt's done it a couple times. Uh, we stopped at a gas station in Georgia, and sitting on the porch outside was a man with a goiter the size of a baseball. Do you remember this, Matt?
Oh,
I think that does
God.
sound familiar.
It
Yes.
was it was right here, and
Oh,
it was impossible not to look. Like, and he was just out there having a cigarette, wearing his overalls,
Yeah.
just sporting his. It was
Yeah, it really
so
made the
gross.
boiled peanuts they were shilling very unappealing. I mean, they're disgusting anyway, but it was still like, not today. Not
I was
today.
like, a doctor could help you with that probably, but I don't know. He may not.
God, that is, yeah, all
It was,
kinds of people.
oh, that was so gross. That's
My
one of the
favorite
grossest
thing
things.
about that, and I can't remember if it was you or who I was with, and it was weird. I was moving there or moving back because it happened a few times. And we ran into like this convenience store, or like no, it was like a gift shop, but all it was exclusively Elvis and Jesus memorabilia. That's it.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
a
Such a
fantastic,
score.
like the black velvet paintings, and like it was a fine place.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't think that was me, or I definitely would have bought a black Elvis painting.
You
Like,
probably would have.
like
Yeah, we'd have some
that.
evidence of this story if you'd been with me. I didn't know where to begin, so I was like, I'm gonna have to come back sometime.
Yeah, it's like,
Overwhelming.
I got to process this. I need a night to sleep on it.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, weirdly, I sort of see the connection, but I don't know why. I don't know. Like, I get kind of the culture thing, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Stay out
I
of the
know
South. General market.
Yeah.
when we used to go to Mexico when we were kids, because my grandparents lived on the border at this place called Pharr, Texas, Pharr. Literally Pharr, Texas, 20 miles north of the border. We would go over to this little town that just sold shit, and then you had to hide it in your car so you could smuggle it back. So liquor, cookies.
Uh huh.
It was weird stuff that you couldn't like just be like, hey, I just bought these cookies. Liquor, I kind of understand. Maybe guns, I would kind of understand. We never bought any guns. Uh,
Baby guns.
I don't know, but there was a store there that only sold, and I must have been 8. I barely remember this, but all they had were black velvet paintings of like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, the Virgin
Whoa.
Mary, Elvis, just all. I mean, it was just everywhere, and I was like, and I actually got a black velvet Donald Duck painting for like 1,000 pesos, which at that time was worth $10 or something like that.
Uh huh.
And I don't know. I think we sold it at a garage sale. So the next time we went back, I was looking for that place, and that was gone. I don't know if you guys have tried to buy a black velvet painting recently. I have in the last couple of years. They are expensive. People are not giving that shit up. So anyway, I could have made a killing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever tried to purchase black velvet painting, but we'll keep that in mind.
I asked for that for Christmas one year, and Sally got me a book about the most unusual black velvet paintings, which is French Kiss.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
She's a good sister. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
she's got me the pulse of me in her brain. She knows. Okay, all right. Let's start doing something. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to do?
Headlines.
Let's do headlines real quick.
Okay, let's do headlines.
Quick.
Chia Pet. That's been in my head all week. I have no idea why. This is from Popular Mechanics. Human sperm seem to defy the laws of physics, and scientists finally know why. Newton said that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, but sperm seem to disagree. And I'll read you the team thinks it's down to odd elasticity, that they are still working to understand the wider implications of the discovery. But basically, what happens is sperm and some forms of algae, they don't have they don't follow the laws of physics, which is like if you, for example, if a sperm is swimming up, it should sort of like stop moving because it kind of yeah, it's a reciprocal force there and it stops. But anyway, there's just this weird. There's a couple different things that are just built differently. Uh, uh, I'm not going to read this to you. Now, reading this now, I realize this is super nerd Tyson just for me. Anyway, you should look it up. It's pretty interesting. Uh, Sperm are amazing. And
Thanks, sperm.
uh, this is from the Kansas City Star. National poll finds people overwhelmingly believe Taylor Swift is good for the NFL. And there's a term in here that she uses. I'm pissing off a few dads, Brads, and Chads.
I did see that.
Yeah, I mean,
My dad's name is Brad. I took offense, Taylor. No, I'm
is,
joking.
is he pissed off about it?
I think he's indifferent. I really
Yeah,
don't think he gives a shit, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
felt like that was profiling, to be honest with you. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, like 71% of like football fans thinks it's good for the NFL, and 70% positive effect, and that includes 71% of football fans in general. Uh, I'm in. It's fine. I was
It's
reading.
fine. My problem is more with the NFL fucking just zoning in on it game after game.
Well,
Like, enough. She's
there's a
there to support her boyfriend. Just keep the cameras off of her. We're over
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, she kind of mentioned that in Time magazine. She said, "I don't know when they're looking at me. I have no idea what's going on." She's like, "I'm just watching the game." So it's really a NFL problem more than a Taylor Swift problem. But
I agree.
I would agree. We're not fans, but I would
We're
agree with
not.
you.
I'm
Yeah,
still not
yeah,
a
yeah.
Swifty. Yes,
I
thanks
would agree.
for
They're
Smith.
milking it
Yeah.
for everything it's worth.
Yep. Yep.
you know what? If it gets my niece to watch football, so be it. It's fine. Yeah, they don't. They don't. It's funny. Like there was a pretty bad injury Monday Night Football, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but they won't show the replay. They
Nope.
won't
They
shoot.
will
They
not.
won't show it, and they always say something along the lines of "It's pretty bad, so we don't want to show it." And I'm like, and the reason they're doing that is because they don't want moms to see shit like that and be like, "You're never playing football ever." you know, you're stuck at
Exactly
soccer.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
and but in the heyday when I was young, if somebody's bone popped out, they would replay that over and over and over.
Yeah.
So it's a little different now. But anyway, I don't have a lot of headlines, and that concludes my headlines.
Those are
That
pretty
was very
good.
good. That was pretty good.
Smith.
That's pretty good. I don't have a lot of headlines either. They are all about Rudy Giuliani, though, because Rudy did
Yay!
have
Hey,
the best week
Rudy.
ever.
Rudy.
In this, for those that were not aware, Rudy had this defamation suit going on in Georgia, I believe, about two campaign workers. And if you'd seen I think it was the mini series about the January 6th. It showed interview. Or no, it was actually the hearings. It was actually the hearings they did earlier this year about January 6th. And there were these two election workers who basically they just went after and basically said, they helped steal the election, and their proof was this videotape of this one woman handing another woman a USB drive. And so Rudy Giuliani went on all the major media sources and basically said, hey, look, we've got proof right here. Turns out it was like a ginger mint. I think we may have talked about this last week, but it was a mint. It was a mint. So anyway, this week he was found liable. Apparently, he didn't put up much of a defense. He was supposed to testify, and he didn't. So they found him liable for $148 million, and the world collectively cheered because they knew that
Yay.
Rudy doesn't have anywhere
Yes.
close to $400 million. And so a couple things materialized today. The first article that came out this morning was that the judge basically said that they can start going after his money immediately because they don't have to wait for the appeal because they know Rudy and he's going to try to hide that shit. And the second one was Rudy shortly thereafter filed for bankruptcy. So,
Yep.
so America's mayor is now, I don't know, like America's like, I don't know, drunken, crazy right wing uncle. That I don't know. Like I feel, I don't feel that. Never mind. That almost came out of my mouth, and what are you talking about? But like that dude just like he did all this stuff. Everybody just dumped on him. Like nobody's supporting him. Like he's just like they just left him out to dry. And good, good riddance. But it was quite a downfall. If you remember him from the hero of 9/11, it's come a long way. Come a long way, Rudy.
I mean, it's literally like you lay down with dogs, you're gonna get fleas.
Yes,
thing,
that was a very good quote. Yes, yes.
Yep.
So anyway, I think that's kind of reached its sort of logical conclusion. He did commit, however, the same. He basically what's the legal term? That
perjury.
Perjury, or not perjury? The defamation. Defamation. This was based on a defamation. I don't remember what the original defamation statement was. He went ahead and did it again, and then
after
he did
the trial.
Again. So now they've already filed another case against him for defamation. So we'll see where this goes. But I don't know what. Why? Yeah, but no, that was it. Like that's really it really was kind of a slower news week. I think maybe it's because of the end of the year, or maybe the crazy.
Yeah, I think so.
They still haven't passed the Ukraine aid package. They did announce that Congress was the most useless Congress in the history of Congress as far as passing money, which shocker. But I don't know. I don't know if it's good whether Congress is doing stuff or not. But anyway, they sucked at it, and so.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm guessing we're going to be when we get back into the new year. I'm guessing some crazy shit's going to happen real fast. That's my prediction. Just nuts.
I think what was the? Did you see? I saw it on last week tonight. This last episode where Giuliani came out of that thing and he's like, "But I told the truth. I have proof that they, and his lawyer's like." Get the fuck away! He's like, this man.
He really was. He really was. Like, that's enough, Rudy. That's enough, Rudy. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on.
And then he started to like defend him, and then he was just like, "No, fuck this. Just get in the car. I'm afraid you're gonna say something else."
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, that was funny. So we, yes, it was a fun week for us, the viewing public.
Very much so.
But yeah, no, those are. I apologize. It was brief. It's been kind of a busy week to kind of get everything kind of wrapped up and
been moving and shaking.
It's no excuse. I just didn't do my homework. I'm sorry, guys.
Actually, there wasn't much this week. I mean,
it was slower. It was slower.
It was slower. It was definitely slower.
Yeah,
I watched the news this morning, and most of it was about the weather and traveling, and it's like that kind of
the usual holiday junk.
Yeah, who cares?
Those gas prices, though, man. Woo! I'll tell you what, those just kept slipping down the further we came closer to Kansas. I think we saw like
nice
240 something. I think was the lowest we saw.
That's weird because it's up 20 cents than it was just 2 days ago here.
Interesting.
And so we were actually Beth and I were talking about that, and maybe you guys know the answer to this. I think I read about it one time, but like there must be a network of people that own gas stations. They call each other and say, "Okay, we're all going to charge this amount of money for gas." Maybe you can go a penny lower, maybe a penny higher, but how else would they coordinate?
So I actually have some insight on this. I actually know a person in this field. My friend Ryan, when he was in college, I think his freshman or sophomore year of college, over the summer, worked for I think either like Coastal Mart or Quick Mart or Quick Shop, whatever the big one in the Wichita area is, and that was the first thing as part of his job. That morning was to drive around and see what prices were posted.
Really?
On the other. Now they've probably got they probably use I don't know, Twitter or I don't know, something different these days to communicate that. But yeah, it basically was just like, what's the guy next to me charging? Which is baffling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's price gouging, right? And like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. And and we were talking about it. I was like, they could say that a barrel of oil goes up $2.50. What, right? And then they got to charge more for gas. That oil doesn't turn to gasoline and even become part of the picture for at least a year, right?
Yep.
So it just makes no sense. It's like but you know,
I
that's why.
recalled that made me just pulling into Hayes today. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there used to be like that gas station before they built up like was east of I-70 or north of I-70. Before there was like nothing there. It was like the first gas station that was on that side,
Yeah.
and allegedly they used to price their gas at like 80 cents higher than everybody else because that was
Oh,
the first gas
that
station.
doesn't surprise
And
me.
they used to get
Yeah.
all that. I used to feel all bad for those suckers just pulling off. And it was like the only gas station they saw. And they were like, Jesus Christ, I hate this fucking town. And they figured it out.
Uh,
There's
Hayes
there's a
has
lot of
it.
well, Arbor City, 1989. Anyway,
All
whatever.
American City,
All American City. Yeah,
1996.
1998?
Yeah.
96, yes.
96. I think it was
Yes.
96.
Yeah.
The year of
Yeah.
my graduation. It was a big year for Hayes, Kansas.
It was a big year. Bob Dole ran for president that year.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
he did. I told Kathy we should go see the new Sternberg Museum because I have not been to the Sternberg since it moved
Uh,
off campus.
Dude, Jonas is he's never been. So if you guys are bored on Saturday,
oh,
we could
Hey, we
totally
might
do
have make
that.
that happen.
actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna give a full throated. You should go see it. I've been there. It's cool.
Cool. Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Did
Dawson,
it.
anything happened
Dawson,
as of note?
I have I have two headlines. One of them is one of my least favorite headlines of the year, and then my other one is one of my favorites. So I'll start out with the one I kind of hate. Uh Mark Zuckerberg is reportedly building himself a $270 million survivalist compound in Hawaii. Have you guys read about this?
I
I
saw
have
the
not,
headline.
but
I
it
haven't
not
read it.
surprised me.
It's fucking insane. He's basically going to have two mansions, one going to the other, and there's going to be an underground fucking, just like entry and exit going back and forth. 30 bedrooms, 30 bathrooms between the two of the mansions. It's going to be on Kauai. And one of my favorite comments in the whole damn thing, and this was on at like robreport.com, some bullshit. I don't know how, reputable it is, but like they were like, what does he know that we don't know? Like everything that he's bought starting in 2013 has, like, he is legit going to have this done in like the next couple of years. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, slightly
Yeah.
scary. And
I hope,
I
I
don't
hope
really
a
like the
volcano
guy.
explodes. That's what I hope
I do
happens.
too. Yeah,
Blows
ruin
it.
the whole
Like,
fucking
oops.
thing. Yeah.
I gotta say though, I mean, in his defense, if I had his kind of money, I would build my own bat cave. I definitely would do that. So
Oh,
you know,
for sure. I
yeah,
mean, all it like it's not even fuck you money at this point. Like it's beyond that what he's able to purchase. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. I'm surprised he didn't do it in New Zealand. Apparently, that's where most of the rich people build their bunkers.
Interesting.
Oh,
I
is
didn't know
it?
that.
Why
Yeah,
is that?
I think partially because it's beautiful there, but
Well,
I think
yeah.
the other thing is that there's no. It's I guess it's just like it's so far away from all the other places that could get nuked. It might be able to
Ah,
handle it a little bit better, than like if you were in
Interesting.
Australia or
Yeah,
whatever.
but us
okay.
yeah, that makes sense. But like Hawaii's like a tactical target. Like
It
it's
is
like
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
original tactical
It's been
target.
a
So that,
naval.
yeah,
I mean, it's already been targeted.
right, right.
Right. Famously.
Maybe I overlooked
Yeah.
that.
Uh yeah, so anyway, billionaire bullshit. But this is one of my favorites. The Denver Zoo got Maury Povich to announce the paternity results for the newest member of its orangutan family. Highly recommend Googling this and watching the video.
Absolutely.
Maury is like wearing a tuxedo announcing
Very
who the
cute.
father is. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. I love all the zookeepers coming together and cheering. It's very heartwarming.
And
And
this was the Denver Zoo, is that what you said?
yeah, yep.
It's pretty great. Yeah, I was and also a great idea. First off, like
Such a great idea.
yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, loved it. But that's it. It was a slow week.
So
So,
that's all right. That's all right.
all
Well,
right. Should we
we
get
did forget
into the?
the one big thing I forgot in
Oh, yes,
Colorado was that
Colorado.
the
Yeah.
Colorado Supreme Court on Monday or Tuesday decided to kick Donald Trump off the ballot, and it's kind of looking like this may not be the best idea, but he's already appealed the United States Supreme Court to decide the issue for the other state. So it's certainly far from a done deal, but was very interesting to see that ruling because I think a lot of
Oh
people thought
yeah.
those would go nowhere. And I guess there's still an open one in Michigan too, which Michigan was probably be a bigger deal than
Yeah,
say
I
Than
would say
Colorado.
that.
Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
so anyway, interesting to keep an eye on. But yeah, oh, I
But
appreciated it. You know, they made pretty decent points, and so yeah, we'll see what happens.
apparently, they've gotten a lot of death threats.
Yes, they
The
have. Well, yeah,
four
Yeah,
of
I
the
did see that.
seven. Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, I guess that's to be expected.
Yeah,
But
that's like
still,
how
fun.
we'll know that like our audience has reached like kind of where we'd like it to be is like when we get in death threats.
Yeah.
I think that I mean
Can't
not that I
wait.
welcome them. We don't welcome them. Certainly, we do not
We do
welcome them.
not. We do not. We'd
It would
rather
be
be possibly sued than.
it's a certain indicator of success. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued again. I can't declare bankruptcy twice, so let's just nix that statement.
All right. Well,
Let's just cut that out right now.
I don't think there's anything litigious.
Oh, yeah. Fair. That's fair.
Uh,
All right.
uh,
Shall we do our end of the year plugs?
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. We're doing it one last time for the year of 2023.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
I usually go first, but I have quite a list, so I don't want to step on any of your guys' picks. So why don't you guys go first, and then I'll do mine. So that way,
Oh, shit. All right. Smith, do you want me to go first? Oh, shit. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
you're a Malamute.
Mute, mute.
Oh yeah, it's my first podcast. Um, so are
Maddie's
we?
first
What are we
podcast.
doing? Like top 5, top 10? I had top 10 for 2 of them, and top 5 for one of them. So
Well, it's
and
whatever you
I'm
want.
gonna
We
kind
don't
of
need
run
to
whatever
through
you
really
them.
have.
decide.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
run through them
What-
really quickly because I think most of these we've plugged in the past, but these are sort of for 2023 after much consideration. These are my picks, and I do not, and I have neglected new music terribly this year. And I'll tell you what gets me into this cycle is that like Spotify always does my like top 100 songs every year. And then I get into this
Uh-huh.
bad habit of just listening to that playlist. And so it just continues and continues. And there's very little variance between year to year. But I did really neglect. So usually I listen to what Tyson tells us to, and it's usually pretty damn
That's a
good.
good
But
point. I do
it's a
the
good,
same.
you know,
Yeah.
but just I need to get back into it because I know there's good music out there. I've just grown lazy, and the biggest indicator of this is I kind of
Sounds
got
like
into
a resolution to me.
I kind of got into 70s
Yeah.
rock this year, so it's time. Like
Oh wow!
Yeah.
it's time to kind
Yeah.
of like to kind of branch out, kind of pay more attention. See, I don't like kids, but they do make on occasion some good music, so
They do
I
Yeah.
need
sometimes.
to pay attention. I'm going to go from. I'll start with my 5, and I've kind of intermixed documentaries and sort of feature films into these lists. But for
Oh, good
miniseries
call.
this year, my number 5 pick is one that we've discussed a couple times on this show. Is Love Has Won, which is on HBO, and it is about
Yes.
a crazy, crazy woman who
Oh
somehow got people to believe she was Mother God. I believe was
Yes. Correct.
the term, and it is a hilarious documentary because
Fucking, oh, so funny. Yeah.
they contemporaneously like interview these people who are like still complete believers, like and it is batshit from Jump Street. Like it is such a good documentary. It just not it just it's just a train wreck, and it's just so much fun to
Total
watch.
train wreck.
And I
Father
think
God in it is one of my favorite fucking
absolutely,
characters. Oh
absolutely.
God,
Yeah,
it's
and like
amazing. Yeah.
the dude who like wishes he was her boyfriend is like they gave him like a different title, like Universal something.
Yeah,
Some
you.
it is phenomenally stupid and entertaining at the
It
same
is
time.
so dumb. Yeah.
On a much lighter note, and I think this was on Netflix, but it was called Our Father. And it is
Oh,
about
I
a
need to watch
woman
that.
that basically figures out that there was um, basically this guy who, what do they call the people who, oh, they get you pregnant. Not in
Oh
that way.
yeah, it's insemination doctor or whatever.
Insemination, right?
Yeah.
And basically, it came out that he was supposed to like be hooking these women up with, a variety of
Sim-
spermies.
Simpson writer's sperm or whatever.
Yes, exactly right. Which you have to pay top dollar for. I know I did. God bless, I get the chance to use it. But she finds out that it was really just all this one guy, and this guy had like just had this kind of weird complex where he just wanted to have like as many children as possible. Really kind of troubling watch, but it was very good. Um, Third place was I really enjoyed this. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Daisy Jones and the Six. It was
Oh,
basically
never
kind of
watched
a
it.
takeoff of um, oh
Almost famous. So that's what it reminds me of.
it
Almost
was
famous. But
very Almost Famous. Yes, you could tell, and I can't believe the name is escaping me. But the band Fleetwood Mac. It's
oh,
basically
but
kind
oh
of a
yeah.
fictionalized
Oh,
version of all of that drama. Really, really good. It didn't
What
get a
was
whole lot of attention. I think it was on Amazon, but
yeah, it is on Amazon. And isn't the female lead Smith Elvis Presley's granddaughter?
I think that might be right. I
Am I
think
getting that right,
now that I look at
producers?
yeah, but it's been. I think it came out earlier this year. I think it came out
it
maybe
got a lot of
this
it got a
spring.
lot of buzz. I haven't watched it, but
It was
it
very
got a
good.
lot of
It
buzz.
was very good. In number two was I think Dawson. You watched this was Telemarketers.
Oh
Yes.
I
yeah, yeah,
That
really
was
yeah,
enjoyed
quite
this
yeah,
good.
documentary.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
That was
really
good.
enjoyed it. It was basically just kind of these two like telemarketing dudes who like were just like wanted to basically go undercover and bust like the scams that their telemarketer was doing. And it was a lot of basically what they were doing is basically pretending to be from like police stations and fire departments and basically just asking people for money. But the really shameful thing was is that like they were approved by a lot of these police stations and fire departments because they were willing to take like a 15% cut. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it was just a
Yeah.
really kind of funny, really funny, just because these guys are like not the most competent bunch, but yet they still kind of masterfully put together this kind of this documentary. Um,
I
and
just
number
one
oh, go ahead.
sorry, one note about that. So I have seen that. It's excellent. I am on one of those lists. I get the same guy calls me 10 or 11 times a day, every day for 4 or 5 days. And
Wow.
he's always like, I'm with the fire department police. And I'm always like, well, if you send me something in the mail, I'll be happy to write you a check and send it back. And he's like, oh, we found that doesn't really work. And I mean, and I knew it was all bullshit because it's the same fucking guy that calls me every time. And unfortunately, one time I gave him money. I gave him $10 for a police fund or whatever. And now I get it 5 times a year. It's just unstoppable amount of phone calls that come in from that guy. So it's real. But I think I'm gonna. I didn't feel like doing it this week because he started calling beginning of this week. But I think next time he calls, I'm gonna get him on the phone for an hour and a half and just keep talking to him,
That's a good
just
idea.
to
You should do like
blow
your
his.
own sort of undercover, like
Yeah, no, I'll just be like, oh, I'll be like, you know what? That's really interesting. Where does the money go? How much do sirens cost for those cop cars? I mean, I'll fucking lean into it as hard as I can until he gets so pissed off he either takes me off the list or just hangs up and tries again. Like, oh, that's real
they're
shit.
actually
What I,
they're actually like a bunch of YouTube series that's like exactly what they do is they basically just keep like the scam going for as long as humanly possible until like the other person on the line just completely loses their shit, and it's usually pretty entertaining.
well, I
Um,
mean, because I worked in call service environments. You're not supposed to be on the phone for more than 7 minutes, you know. But if I could stretch it out to an hour and a half, it would be a good fun thing to do. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. My favorite miniseries this year was White House Plumbers. A very funny.
Oh, that was quite good. Yes.
I think it was on HBO about the Watergate. Was it Woody Harrelson? And I'm trying to think.
Justin Theroux.
Yes, so good. If you haven't seen it, my favorite of the year, highly recommend.
Yeah, it's very
on
good.
to the television series that I watch. I'm going to kind of flow through these pretty quickly until we get to the top one. Number 10 spot was Lawman Bass Reeves. This is the first of a number of spinoffs that are coming from Yellowwood. We watched Yellowwood. We watched like 1883 and 1923 and all the early ones, and we really enjoyed it. Like I think I enjoyed the prequels more than I did Yellowstone. But Yellowstone's it's a fine show. It's all about Montana.
It's got the Costner in it. I love Kevin.
Absolutely,
it's the best. Yeah.
Next one up, I think this was actually the second season of this, but Somebody Somewhere, comedy on HBO that takes place of
fucking
all places
awesome.
in Manhattan, Kansas, which is just crazy. It's not actually shot there.
No, it is not.
But
Bummer.
it is. They kind of nail. I think they kind of nail the feel of the place, and this is a very good like personality show. And really character driven. One of my favorites. Barry also ended season 6. Weird show. I think it goes from very comedic to very dark by the time you get to the 6th season, and I enjoyed it. Like I liked how they wrapped it up. Next up, The Bear, series 2, season 2, which again, Bear is excellent if you haven't seen it. A little guilty pleasure. Number 5 was Justified Primeval. I loved the original series Justified, and they rebooted it. And it was pretty good. Timothy Oliphant, who, if there was a guy I was going to hook up with, that's who I would. That's where I would start.
There you go. All right.
That guy's good in everything, though. I mean,
he's excellent.
He's
second series of Perry Mason. Second season. I don't say series. Second season of Perry Mason.
Oh
If you guys haven't seen Perry Mason, really,
I need to watch
good.
that.
I need to watch it too. I love the original.
And
Matthew Rhys in it is fucking phenomenal in the first season.
Yeah. And in third, this was a fun one. It was on like Tubi, or it was on whatever the free Amazon channel was, where it's like with ads now, was Jury Duty. And if you guys aren't familiar, haven't seen this was a very good, and I bought it. Like, I can't stand reality TV because it's mostly all scripted these days, and I don't think it was. And even if it was, it's excusable because it was so good. But basically the premise is that there's sort of the mark is basically one of 12 jurors, and every one of the other jurors is an actor. And so it's basically about this guy and them saying all this crazy shit throughout the course of the trial. If you haven't seen it, really, really good. It's one of those ones, like, it's kind of like Joe Millionaire, where they probably won't be able to do it again.
Yeah, it probably won't work. But yeah.
Second one was The Artful Dodger. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, I think, and it is a sort of fictionalized, all our twists. It's fiction anyway, but it's a sort of kind of a historical drama about the character for Artful Dodger, and they make like Oliver Twist is like kind of a putz, which is very funny. And my favorite show of the year was, probably pretty good margin, was Poker Face. I absolutely loved Poker Face.
That was good. Yeah,
serialized nature of it. The guest stars. What's the lead's name?
Natasha Lyonne.
Natasha Lyonne is just brilliant on it. She was also really good in that. What was the series she did a couple years ago? They haven't
Russian
done
Doll.
Russian Doll was also excellent. And I'm hoping that comes back.
And then I do have Poker Face did get renewed, so
I did see that. Yeah, that's fucking great news.
And then my least favorite show I know there are terrible shows, but this was a show that had a huge budget, a great lead actor, Idris Elba, as Hijack, or H/Jack.
Good fucking call. I'll back that one up.
It was so well produced and just the dumbest thing imaginable. Like, it was so stupid, and it drove me nuts. And it drove me also nuts that it got such high reviews, because I get the whole willful suspense of disbelief, but there's only so much I can take. And I was just like, this
Yeah.
is so stupid.
Yeah.
So don't watch that, or do. What do I care? And we'll get to movies. We'll get to my top 10 movies. I think we've talked about all of these kind of as they've come out. Number 10, Cocaine Bear, which
Yeah.
was a very funny and silly comedy, which I enjoyed. Like, it wasn't quite as good as I was hoping it would be, but I did ultimately enjoy it. Number 9 was Bottoms. We've talked about Bottoms a few times.
Fuck
Really
yeah.
enjoyed Bottoms. It is a kind of gets back to the kind of raunchy teen comedy, only with a very sort of fresh lesbian twist. That's the first time I've ever said those words together, but I need to say it more often. Number 8 was Air, which was about the
Oh yeah, that
Nike
was good.
kind of signing the deal with Michael Jordan, which was
Hmm.
very, very good. I think it was on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. In number 7 was Pain Hustlers, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but
Never. I didn't see that.
it was
Yeah, I
about,
need to
and
add it.
forgive me for not remembering who's in it, but it's basically about all the main character is this woman who I think worked at a strip club and then becomes like a pharmaceutical rep, which was not too far from the truth at the time
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
for OxyContin and things of that ilk, and just really funny. I mean, it's a serious subject matter, obviously, but a very funny film.
What was it
Uh,
called?
it is
Pain.
called Pain Hustlers.
Okay, thank you. I'm making a list. Checking
My
it twice.
sixth favorite movie of the year was Blackberry, which stars. I will always remember him from the kid from Undeclared, but he does have a name. He's an adult now, but it doesn't matter. He's the kid from Undeclared.
Yeah.
Very, very good movie about the founding of RIM and Blackberry. Number 5 was Tetris. If you've
Oh, that
never
was good.
really kind of
Oh yeah,
understood
that's
the
on the
story of
list.
Tetris, it's
That's
a
a great movie.
fascinating story. I
Yeah,
knew they were
I
going
need
to
to
make a
watch
movie.
it.
Years and years and years ago, when I thought about writing, I thought this would make an excellent script, and so much fun to actually see that story kind of come to life. Number 4 was Albert Brooks Defending My Life, which was probably
Yeah,
my favorite documentary of the year. Just a real, I mean, it's very simple. You just kind of, I don't know, like you kind of learn to be friends with the dude and can't help to love him. And it's like I didn't know a whole lot about Albert Brooks before that. Like, I
it just
obviously
feels
knew
like
he's
you're in the booth with him and Rob
it
Reiner,
does.
like hanging out, reminiscing about the old days. Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
fun.
and it's very good. Number
Yeah,
3, I've been a huge Scorsese fan forever.
yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon is a very depressing and very long film. I'm a super fan, so I didn't have a problem kind of sticking it out through the 3.5 hours that we watched it in the theater. But I get why it would be a bit. I didn't quite at the time, but I've been a little more understanding. Again, I'm a super fan, and I'm one of those annoying like film school pricks that never did anything with his life. That's me too. And so very good movie. Oppenheimer was my
Hmm.
second favorite film of the year. Again, excellent movie. We saw it in the IMAX, which was a lot, but it was just a beautiful film. A little slow, but it didn't really bother me. It was just it's a longer movie, but didn't really bother me. You both saw that, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
in the
it was
theater.
great,
Yeah,
and I actually saw it
phenomenal.
in IMAX based on your suggestion, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And my favorite movie of the year was Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I love that movie. I like it. It's just a little film, but like I love that movie. I thought it was so sweet. And yeah, I'm a softie. What can I say? You can only take
It's
so
a
much
good one. Judy Bloom
nuclear
is
nuclear war
adorable.
and
Yeah.
genocide. It's a little more fun than
Yep.
nuclear war and genocide. So that's why it's
That's
on
true.
my top spot of the year. So that's what I watched. Yeah. So there you go.
That was
Very
good.
nice. Yeah,
Damn.
great list.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. Fuck. All right. I should have done top 10 and maybe my least favorite. I did not. I only did top 5, so I'm going to roll through these real quick. We'll start with albums. Number 5, Explosions in the Sky. The album's called End. Beautiful. It's like very cinematic like music if you're into that, and it's all instrumental. Very much into it. My 4th favorite album of the year is by the Album Leaf. Also pretty much instrumental, but they've started using some vocals that I'm into. The album's called Future Falling, and it's a little more upbeat than the Explosions in the Sky record, but I'm into it. The third one is Sufjan Stevens' Javelin. the guys know, I feel like our fans know at this point how much I love Sufjan. It's still probably my favorite concert that I've ever been to. When he was touring for the album Carrie and Lowell, which was written about his mother who was dying, got me right in the feels, still does. Javelin, it's about his partner who was dying. So Sufjan just is a really great writer of music about people dying. It just will kill you in the best and worst ways. So anyway, I love the album. It's beautiful. Check it out. And then my second favorite album of the year is by Bayonne. It's called Temporary Time. It's just very, I don't know, like it makes me feel good. I love his voice. I love the lyrics.
Who is
I
he?
listen to
I'm
a lot
sorry.
of it. Bayonne.
Bayonne. I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's BA, and I may be mispronouncing it, but Bayonne. And it's
Okay.
called Temporary Time. And yeah, just lots of tracks that I love. I listened to a lot of it when we were in Italy, so maybe there's some sort of correlation there, like one of my favorite experiences of life, and then this album that I wouldn't stop
Okay.
listening to. But it's great. I loved it. So check it out. But my favorite record of the year, it's called The Record by Boy Genius. And I know Tyson's going to talk about it way more eloquently than I can, but I'm totally on board. And Tyson actually got me on board to Smith's point earlier. Like I just listen to stuff that Tyson sends us because we call him like the late night DJ. And I'll just leave it
Sorry,
at
guys.
that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I wake up in the morning and I just start playing all this music and I'm like, this is good, this is good. I really like that. Uh Boy Genius is fucking phenomenal. If you haven't listened to these three women, what they do, what they're able to do, the lyrics that they've come up with, like they're just phenomenal musicians and people. I love it. I can't get enough of them. I can't wait. Tyson, we were talking about this before the show. When they tour again, we're fucking going. They do raucous stuff, like they make out with each other, flash their boobies, like where they don't even flash, they just walk around with no shirt on. Like they're just free loving, not really hippies, but they're just like cool little indie rock chicks, and I'm into it. And their music is phenomenal. So definitely check out that record. And then moving on to film, uh, I loved Oppenheimer, and I love Killers of the Flower Moon, but they didn't make my list. But I did just want to plug them. Smith already did. They're phenomenal movies. Everybody should see them. My fifth favorite is Barbie because it was just cool. I mean, I
Was it
love
great?
Greta Gerwig. Yeah, you guys know this. Like, she's one of my favorites. I'm so happy for her on a number of different levels, but she co-wrote it, she directed it. The acting in it's great. Like the set design is like the best I've seen this year. Like all kinds of things. It marks a lot of those categories for me. Very cool. So if you haven't seen Barbie, I think it's on the Max now, so you can
It is.
stream
I
it
think
for
I think
free.
it debuted a day or two ago. Yeah. So yeah, you should
Yeah,
definitely watch it.
it's
It's way
yeah,
smarter than you think it's gonna be. It's very
it
clever.
is for sure, for sure. Um, and then my fourth favorite movie is Asteroid City,
Oh, that's a
by
good
one of
movie.
my other
Yeah.
favorite directors, Wes
I forgot about
Anderson.
that one. Oh yeah, that's
Fucking
good.
phenomenal. Again, talk about set design, Jesus Christ. Like that guy in art directions, like you can't nobody beats him. And tons of, actors and actresses, notable people in it. It's cool. Check it out. And then my
That is
third
that. By
favorite,
the way, that is my favorite Wes Anderson movie. That's a really good movie. I
yes,
think.
that
I
is
think.
true, which
Yeah.
is saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
super
It is.
fun.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Um, My third favorite, maybe Tyson's favorite, is definitely on Smith's list. Bottoms. It's just I'm still trying to process the first time I've watched it, and I've already added it to my queue to watch next week a second time. It's fucking great. It is bonkers. It is, what did you say, Tyson's like Heather on crack? Like it's just
Yeah.
one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Super fun. And then my second favorite movie of the year is Past Lives. A24 produced it. It's this beautiful, like Korean love story, and it's set in New York, so I'm gonna love it anyway. Um,
I
it's
read
great,
about.
and it's getting a lot of notoriety for the acting and the script and everything. So, highly recommend checking that out. But my favorite movie of the year is The Holdovers. I know I already talked about it with Paul Giamatti starring in it, as just this academic who's at the end of his rope for a number of reasons. It's fucking great. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I would definitely call it a Christmas movie. If you're looking for something to watch this holiday season, check it out. Big fan of, just that movie, the script, the acting, the cinematography. It just, yeah, hits all the notes. So that is film. Moving on to TV, I'll go through this really quickly. So my fifth favorite was the newest season of The Bear. We've talked about it. It's great. It was on Smith's list. Phenomenal. Just watch it. It's on Hulu. Also on Hulu, Reservation Dogs. It was their final season.
Yeah.
Fucking great. It's one of the best series ever made.
Absolutely.
Those 4 kids are fucking phenomenal actors. Can't wait to see them in more stuff. And then my third favorite, Somebody Somewhere, the newest season, as Smith already said. It's fantastic for a number of reasons. I love Bridget Everett. I love Boomer Miller. Their friendship is phenomenal. I love Murray in it, Murray Hill. Got to see him perform in New York, which is super fun. It's great. It's phenomenal show, phenomenal cast. Definitely check it out. My second favorite, which actually kind of surprised me, is Lessons in Chemistry with Brie Larson. I love that show, and I put it off for a very long time because I was like, they're ripping off Julia, whatever. No, it's different and really smart, and yeah, well written. Brie's amazing in it. It's on Apple Plus, I think. So
It is. Yeah, we
if
just
you're
started
looking
it.
for something, yeah, check it out. Are you guys liking it,
I
Tice?
am. Yeah, I mean, well, what was a Julia? It wasn't Julia the show, but there was a movie. It was like where she recreated the Julia's, like recipes. Do you remember this
Oh,
movie?
Julie and Julia. Wasn't
Yeah,
it
something
called
like
something
that.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's not like that either. It's no,
Yeah.
it's
It's its
I
own thing.
so far what I've seen, I really liked it,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's
Um,
all and Beth's all over it, of course.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. That's awesome. And then my favorite TV show of the year is The Last of Us. That was
Amazing.
phenomenal. Again, yeah, like Pedro Pascal and everybody in it, the writing, talk about set design and like they just nailed it. Um, and that
And
is on the Max.
the third episode, that's still
Oh, Jesus. That
Christ.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Throw all the
yeah.
awards at it. And then my last category is podcast. Sorry, I listen to other things other than Jabberjaws is really my number one. But we'll go
To be
through a
honest
list
with you,
anyway.
I don't listen to Jabberjaw, so it's cool. Don't worry.
I think I'm the only one out of the 3 of us that listens to it, but mostly just to like get technical errors and things I can improve upon. It's my own shit. But anyway, my
You're a
fifth
good producer.
favorite, thank you. I'm gonna add that to my LinkedIn. My fifth favorite podcast is a podcast called Hard Feelings with Jeanette McCurdy. They're short episodes, they're about 20 minutes long. She had a book that came out this year that is on my list for next year to read. And it's called I'm Glad My Mother Died. And it talks
Oh
about
yeah,
just, yeah, and it's gotten a ton of like great reviews and all kinds of stuff. But she's gone through a shitload of therapy. Um, I think she had a narcissistic mother. Anyway, the podcast itself dives into her therapy sessions and what she's learned. And they're short, but they're really sweet. She's great, by the way. So definitely recommend that if you're looking for a new podcast.
she
Um,
has. I can tell. I can verify. She has her own audiobook too. So I assume the
oh,
podcast
she
is a.
does. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be an
Yeah,
addendum to it because people love
it's
her. Because
got
she
to
was a
be.
Nickelodeon star, right? Like, or she was on a Nickelodeon TV show or
Yeah, it was
Disney
like
or one of the.
Nickelodeon or Disney, one of those. And she's gone through some stuff. I mean, she definitely survived, I would say, the whole child actor thing and is still going through trying to survive it cuz her mom was like a stage mom and then some.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, she's triggered by a lot of things, especially people coming up to her and saying, "I loved you on that show. Say a line from that show." Things like that. Like she really like dives into problems that child actors have faced, which I mean, a lot of it you don't even think about until later and you're like, that fucking sucks. Like I feel bad that you're constantly getting that.
Well,
Um,
imagine how many times fucking Gary Coleman was asked to say, "What you talking about, Willis?" I mean,
oh
he
my
must have wanted to
God.
fuck a bullet in his head every time, after 20 years. And
Well,
like,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
sorry,
I
sorry,
wouldn't want
sorry, sorry,
no.
sorry.
No
Go ahead.
way. But then let's see. My fourth favorite is the Handsome podcast with Tig Notaro, Fortune Feimster, and Mae Martin. Uh Great comedians, fucking hilarious. Um Basically it's just them hanging out, but then they take like a celebrity question and then they just riff off of that. And that's the whole premise for the show. And it's super funny. I mean, Tig Notaro is probably the funniest out of the three. But they all have good chemistry and it's fun to listen to. And then my third favorite is Wiser Than Me with Julia Louise Dreyfus. She just interviews older women and asks them really great questions about their lives and advice. And I've learned a lot from it. Like people like Jane Fonda, Carol Burnett was a fucking phenomenal episode. Like definitely check that out. It's great. And I think the second season's coming out in January. So super excited about that. And then my second favorite is a show called Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch and Irene Bremis. And they just have their friends on that have had like, strange paranormal happenings. And it's funny. Like it's really funny. It's right up my alley. But they've had folks like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, um, a bunch of stage actors who I'm not familiar with, but they're hilarious. Rachel, I just love Drax. She's the best. So definitely check that out. I'm really enjoying it. And then my favorite podcast, other than ours, again, listen to us. I mean, basically you are right now, so don't need to plug us. But Chinwag with Paul Giamatti and Stephen Asma. I'm a big Paul Giamatti fan, but he's a total fucking nerd for philosophy, paranormal, all this stuff. Stephen Asma is a philosopher. They just talk about literally everything from like Sasquatch to like ghosts to vampires to like really weird made up monsters, like in a very intellectual way to the point where you're like, oh my God, really? Like, I can't believe they talked about that subject for an hour and a half. But with people like Billy Bob Thornton, Stephen Colbert, Amy Sedaris,
Oh wow.
there's a bunch of celebrities that come on, but then also scientists as well. And it's super interesting. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. It's so funny, so smart. They have really good chemistry. So yeah, that's it. It's my
Very nice.
2023 wrap up. I
Very
gotta take
nice.
a drink of water now. A little parched.
I'm out of water. Okay, so well, I didn't actually put. Uh, so we share, obviously we share a lot of the same opinions, and I'm not very good at ranking things, so I'll just so as far as movies go, I said this before on the show. My favorite movie was Bottoms, not because it's the best movie out there for sure, but I've watched it 3 times, which I don't watch movies like that. I just don't. But there's an inherent wonderfulness about picking up extra stuff every time you watch it, whether it's lines of dialogue underneath the breath or just different facial expressions. Um, big fan. Um, of course, Barbie, uh, which was great. Oppenheimer, which was great. Um, A Haunting in Venice. I just really like that movie. I like
Oh yeah,
him.
that was good.
I like the movie. So here's a weird one, kind of. It's called Birth Rebirth, and I saw it in the theater, and it was put out by Shudder, and it's a horror movie, but not like a jump scare horror movie. It's more of a psychological horror movie, uh, and it's sort of like it's a new twist on basically like Frankenstein, maybe I guess is the best way I could say it. It is
Okay.
unnerving and hard. I mean, not hard to watch, like not like David Lynch, not David. Sorry, Cronenberg, hard to watch, but it's like it's I can't really say anything, but as you keep watching the movie, in my brain, almost to the point where I was in the theater being like, "No, you can't do that." Like just saying it to the
Oh,
screen, like,
shit.
"You cannot, you're not going to do that." And they do it. So anyway, it's really worth the watch. It's called Birth Rebirth, and
Okay.
it
I need to
basically
watch that. I'm adding it to the
it
list.
flew under the radar, I think, for a lot of things. Partially because it came out with Shudder, and Shudder's like this kind of they make it's like a pay service for horror movies, and they do their own movies, but it just happened to be really good. Um, and okay, let's just get to the point where you guys are going to mock me, so I'll just go through that. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, fantastic movie, so good, like really good. And then I watched this animated movie called Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham, which is not for kids. Do not show that to kids, ladies and gentlemen. But basically, it's what would happen if a Lovecraftian character came and infected Gotham. And it is animated and it is unsettling, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so,
Hmm.
um, but I laughed the most probably at Bottoms, then Barbie, and Oppenheimer was, it's gorgeous. Like I don't, it's gonna win all the awards. I think it's really interesting that Barbie and Oppenheimer might come up against each other in Best Movie. Which is awesome, to be honest with you. Um, so I'm just gonna address this all real fast because you guys know who I am. So Marvel had some shows come out this year: Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania, which I liked. It was kind of like a Star Wars kind of thing. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was depressing, but I liked that as well. The Marvels, I really liked that movie a lot. Um, Loki season 2 was excellent, and a surprise unplug for Secret Invasion. I did not like that at all. They did not do a very good job with
Oh.
it. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it was because the story was so muddled, or if the storyline was completely ignored in the Marvels, which is technically the next thing that was supposed to happen after that, but not a fan. I did watch a couple of Christmas movies, and I want to talk to him about it for a second. The Holdovers I watched, which was fantastic, was really good.
Yeah.
We really liked it a lot. Uh,
Good.
and I watched this movie. We watched this movie last night called Violent Night, which stars David Harbour. Uh, and it is
I
basically
want to see that. Yeah.
okay. So let me. I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can because and I laughed several times out loud during the whole thing. But I mean, it's like Santa Claus is John McClane in Die Hard, but there's also a huge homage to the uh, Home Alone thing where you drop the paint buckets and you booby trap the house.
Uh huh.
They I what I think happened was like that was their elevator pitch. It was like Die Hard meets Miracle on 34th Street meets Home Alone. And then they're like, run with it. Just try to figure out how you can fit that together. And it didn't work. But it's fucking interesting to watch because it fails up, I guess, a little bit, like kind of like that asshole that gets promoted above you because they don't want to deal with him, on your level. No, anyway.
Uh
Anyway,
huh.
I would watch it, but don't expect too much. So yeah, so those are the movies I was really impressed with. But I would recommend if you have the stomach for it, watch Birth Rebirth. You don't read anything about it, just watch it because I came in cold to the theater when I saw it, and I was like, oh my goodness. Uh, okay, as far as television goes, again, I didn't rank these anywhere. I think my favorite television show from last year was Poker Face. It was the thing I was looking forward to the
Oh,
most
nice.
every week because every episode's excellent. They have guest stars, and so I think that was probably my favorite. Um, but I'm just gonna run through the other ones that I really like this year. Kunk on Earth, that's a fantastic documentary
Oh God, fuck! I
on
forgot
Amazon.
about that.
Uh,
Yeah, that should have been on my list.
that's a
So
good one.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
What We Do in the Shadows, consistently funny. The Last of Us was
Yep.
very good. The Bear, we didn't watch season 1 of The Bear until season 2 came out. And, they dropped all of them the same day, which I think we talked about this before. You can't serialize The Bear because there's not enough ongoing story for each episode because they divide them up into character pieces. So you have to basically be able to watch all of them, at the
Uh
same
huh.
time. So we watched season
Yeah.
1 and season 2 straight, and it was fantastic. Um, there's a show called How To with John Wilson. It's on HBO
Oh,
Max.
yeah. I need to watch that.
It is
Keep putting it off.
really, really good. He has a very odd sense of humor, but he has a gift too, where like you don't know what's going to happen. Like it starts off very easy. It's like, you know, how to make a souffle, and then pretty soon at the end of it, it's like about I don't know, murderers and racism. I mean, it's just really weird, but much funnier than that. But it just kind of goes off. Um, I didn't know this until earlier this week, but Aqua Teen Hunger Force is back, and they're making new
Oh,
episodes, and
that's
they're
cool.
Really?
they're on HBO Max, and that's fantastic. Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I talked about this last week. It's very good. It's probably better than any of the new Godzilla movies, except possibly Kong Island and Godzilla versus King Kong. But anyway, it's really good. A lot of people didn't like this show, but I really liked it. It's called Velma. It's on HBO Max, and it's about Velma from Scooby Doo,
Oh, yeah.
and it is a trip, like straight up a trip. Like
Yeah.
it takes the archetypes of all the. There's no dog, there's no Scooby, but everybody else is there, and
Uh-huh.
Daphne and Velma have a romantic thing, and Fred is a fucking freak show, and I mean it's a murder mystery as well. It was co-produced and written by Mindy Kaling, and she's the voice of Velma, and it's quite good. I know we're going long, guys. Sorry, hold on. So I really like this show called Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I know you guys don't go in for that stuff, but it's the best Star Trek. It's the best Star Trek thing that's happened in the last since the '60s. It's my favorite thing since the original thing.
Wow.
It's really good.
It's quite an
Um,
endorsement.
Dang. All right.
and there's also a sister program called Star Trek Lower Decks, which is about the people that work in the grunt level area of the starships. So like they have to clean all the shit up, and they don't get to go on adventures and make out with aliens. Their life kind of sucks. Um, and there was a really cool thing where the Lower Decks characters guest starred on Strange New World as humans. It's Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsome. So those are the voices, but then they actually appeared as humans on the crossover episode. It was really cool. Um, Only Murders in the Building, always great, always fantastic. Um, the Marvelous Miss Mabel finished this year. I was happy with the finish. Welcome to
I didn't
Wrexham.
even realize that had its last series until like I was doing research tonight. I was excited to see that there were. I don't know how I missed it, but I'm excited to watch it. So that's where I'm going next.
It's great, and I was really worried about it, but it all wraps up in the last episode perfectly, so I was quite happy about that. Um, Welcome to Wrexham, which is just it's I don't know, I don't really go in for that kind of documentary kind of thing usually, but it's just wonderful. Good Omens season 2 came out this year, it was very very good, and then Futurama came out. The new season came out this year, and it was hit or miss a little bit, but the last episode was really good. Now, here's a list of shows that I know I will like. I've either started these shows or I haven't finished them. Well, no, I haven't finished them. I might have started them. So, Reservation Dogs, Party Down. For some reason, I forgot the new season Party Down is out there, and I haven't
I do
watched it.
too.
Oh,
Scott,
fuck. Yeah.
uh, there's a lot of TV, right? You forget, right?
There is a lot of TV.
And
Yeah.
you guys don't have stars, right? It's on like the one network that we don't pay for, right? At least in our house. There's a new Scott Pilgrim show on Netflix. Is really good. There's a show called The Curse on I believe it's Paramount. I believe it's Paramount Plus.
Yes. Or
And
Showtime,
or
technically, I think,
Showtime. Yeah,
right?
Showtime. Anyway, I watched the first 2 episodes of that. That is awesome. So I unless they screw it up by the end, I'm sure it'll be great. There's a show called Killing It. I love the first season. I haven't watched the second season yet, and I haven't caught any of the
Oh,
second
yeah.
season in the second season of Invincible. So anyway, I'm gonna bust through these real fast. My favorite re-released albums this year was, and I'm not talking about new pressings on vinyl. I'm talking about like it's an anniversary thing. They did a new remastering. They put together something. Uh, the first one obviously is the Replacements, Tim, Let It Bleed, which is one of my all-time favorite records. Uh, and they put one of those out every year or so, and I've got 5 of them, and they're always excellent. But Tim is quite special because it's actually close to my heart. And the other one was the Breeders put out a 30th anniversary of Last Splash, which has
Oh.
2 unreleased B-sides, including one that's called. So there's a song on the album called Divine Hammer, and this song's called Divine Mascus. And Jay Mascus is the singer on this song. He's one of the singers on this song, and
Interesting.
it's great actually. Okay, so these are the albums I like this year that they didn't make the top 5. Okay, Yo La Tango's This Stupid World was excellent. Triple Fast Action is this old band that I used to listen to all the time. Uh, they had some heat around them. They were from Chicago, and this year, some saint, some angel, got together and released 3 records worth of unreleased tracks that they mixed and mastered from practice tapes in their studio or in their practice
Oh,
space.
wow.
It is
Oh shit. Okay.
amazing. Yeah, and they only put out 2 records. They put out let's see, Cattlemen Don't and Triple Fast Action, Revolver? No, I can't remember. Anyway, and so just hearing some of that stuff that didn't make the cut or was going to be on the next record is just really good, and it's mastered so well. It's just great. The band is called Triple Fast Action. Sometimes it's spelled as one word. Sometimes the E in triple is spelled with 3. Kind of hard to find. Not very good marketing. Um, the Rural Alberta Advantage, The Rise and the Fall, that came out. That was quite good. This band Bully put out a record called Lucky for You that was excellent.
Oh, that was another good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like Bully.
The Goo Goo Dolls put out a Live from the Academy in 1995, which hits my exact
Mm-hmm.
sweet spot with the Goo Goo Dolls. Palehound put out a record called Eye and the Bat, which was excellent. Uh, this band Lifeguard, they Matador put, so I don't know when these originally came out, but they put 2 of their EPs together on one LP and they released it. So it's Lifeguard, Crowd Can Talk, Dressed in Trenches, and these kids are like young. Like I was listening to an interview with, and like one of the songs that I really like, the kid was 13 on the drums when he wrote the song. So I mean, these are like the
Oh
new,
shit.
these are like the new face of hardcore, melodic hardcore. It reminds me a lot of like um, Archers of Loaf or Vitreous Humor, something along those lines. Anyway, if you're into that kind of thing, it's really great. The New Pornographers put out a record called Continue as a Guest, which I thought was quite
Mm-hmm.
good.
That was
And
good.
then Phoenix put out a record called Alpha Zulu, which was quite good as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2 records that I really like this year that I never heard anything about these guys before. The first one was Feeble Little Horse. It's called Girl with Fish. And that came out on Saddle Creek this year. And I was happy to see it made most of the top whatever list. I read like, I don't know, 10 of them the other day. So I was happy to see that they got it. It's a noise band with this really kind of fun female singer. I'm going to use a reference that no one's ever going to remember, but there used to be this band called Medicine, and it's very much like that, which I really like. It's a lot of noisy, strange guitar noise. Um, and the song, I'd say the breakout song is called Steamroller, and Steamroller has one of my favorite lyrics of this year. The lyric is Steamroller, you fuck like you're eating, which I just think is an amazing line. Uh, and then this other band called Motherfolk, they put out a record.
Mm.
It's actually 2 EPs, the Flower plus the Bee, but they put it on a single LP. And I've talked about them before. They're not big. I don't know if they're going to get big, but uh, they remind me a lot of the kind of bands that I would like, back in the day, like Four Squirrels or Bring Back Joel or Gin Blossoms. In as much as like they do different kinds of stuff, but it all works pretty well. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I gave up, guys. I just couldn't do it. So a 3-way tie for the best record of the year.
Oh
uh,
shit. Okay.
Sure.
Boy Genius, the record and the rest. The rest was a 4-song EP that they didn't put on the first record.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
just
that was
putting that
good.
all into one thing. This band called Rat
Smart.
Boys. uh, and the album is called The Window. Rat Boys is they call themselves post country, uh, but there's definitely some rock going on in there. And Chris Walla, who
I
was the
like
drummer,
them. That It's Alive song is really good.
yeah, it is, and their whole record is really good. And I was happy to see they consistently made well, all three of these bands consistently made the top 10 in many lists, so it made me happy. But anyway, Rat Boys. The other thing about that Rat Boy record, it was produced by Chris Walla, who produced all of Death Cab for Cutie's records and was their drummer until he left after he decided that Death Cab was too what's the term I'm looking for? Commercial, I guess. I don't know. It was weird.
Mm.
And then finally, maybe the band called Wednesday, Rat Saw God, is it's it's phenomenal. You don't know what to expect. It's I don't. It's almost impossible to describe, except it's cathartic. And I did read this thing about how the lead singer, she said she was trying to write songs that painted a certain picture or a feel, and she used the movie Magnolia as an example of the kind of feeling she's trying to get out of each one of these songs. And there are definitely some songs like that, where they're sort of like slice of life things, except that that particular slice of life is fucked up. You know, but I mean, at one moment you're like, holy shit, this is a total punk rock album, and then it turns around and plays the best, and then they play the best Tom Petty song you've never heard. I mean, it's crazy.
Ooh.
It is
Okay.
really good. Um,
Is it a Veronica Mars reference?
I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have never verified that, but I think it is. Uh, I'll,
because that was the name of his Rob Thomas's first novelization, I think, Veronica Mars, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll have to look into it. I'm piqued just by knowing that. So it's a good title.
uh, oh yeah, no. So Wednesday, Rat Boys, and Boy Genius. I know I love girl rock. I heard term bubble grunge. That's a new term I heard, which is
Bubble grunge?
it
That's
definitely
funny.
fits my aesthetic. But anyway, if you should listen to those three records if you don't listen to anything else the whole year. And so Wednesday, Rat Boys, and Boy Genius. And uh, what was the other thing I was going to say? He has said a lot of things. Is there anything else?
There might be more.
No, I think that's it. Anyway, so the last thing was there's been so many good singles this year, and I have to counterpoint Matt. I have been listening to music. I've made a real point this year to listen to music again, because I same problem with Matt. I get stuck in the fucking Spotify doldrums, and I'm like, well, I know that's good, so I'll just listen to that. But
Hmm.
having this record player here and my little setup, it's so much more fun to listen to new stuff. So um, anyway, I will make a playlist of my favorite singles from this past year. I will open it up to you guys. You can add your singles to it, and then we'll promote it and send it out as a public service announcement to those 4 or 5 people that are still listening, even after an hour and 52 minutes.
I love the idea.
You're just
The hardcore fans.
I was just looking at you guys, and I kept looking at the time. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Tyson, how long did you make this list? Jesus fucking Christ. Uh, anyway, anyway,
It's
uh,
not our longest episode quite
it's
yet.
not. No, we're never gonna.
No,
It's
no.
gonna be. It's gonna take the next Nicolas Cage movie binge to get back up to the next level of thing. So
That is true. Which also we should watch The Retirement Plan. Speaking of Nick Cage, that is on the homework
oh, I'm
for
gonna go
2024.
before surgery. I'm gonna try to go see that movie where he stars in everyone's dreams. I can't remember what it's called, but it's at our theater. Hopefully,
Oh yeah, fuck. Forgot about that. I think it's leaving Denver, or it left Denver last week, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm
I did
excited.
I did have to ask
Dream
Tyson.
Scenario. That's the name
Dream
of it.
scenario. That's right. Yeah.
I
Yes.
was gonna
Yes.
say one
Yes.
one more movie that I had to ask you about, Tyson, because it reminded me of it. But this Godzilla minus zero or is getting like a ton of good press. Have
Yeah,
you
I'm going to
like
go see it before
it's
surgery.
playing here, it's playing in Hayes and it's in Japanese, which is just
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah. No, I mean, I was like Beth.
Whoa.
I just want to go
That's
see it.
crazy.
I was like, I'll take my muscle relaxants and I'll just sit and I'll just enjoy it. Because they say it's literally the best Godzilla movie ever made because you actually care about the characters in the movie as opposed to just Godzilla. And yeah, so I'm really looking
That's
forward to
cool.
seeing it. I'm surprised it's playing in Hayes though, because I mean, I know there's not a lot of movies out in the mill because of all the strikes and whatnot, but still, it was. I did read it was the highest rated, or it made the most money opening weekend for a subtitled movie ever in the United States.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Dang.
Well, it's got like a
Okay.
99. Looks good. So, anyway, well, I'm gonna try to get to it. Maybe we can compare notes.
Compare
next
notes
time.
when we do the next show. I think we're gonna go because like you can see movies here for like $4. It's like phenomenal. It's great.
Fantastic. That's great.
It's
That's a
awesome.
good idea.
Awesome.
You guys go to movies together and just send me a pic. That's all I ask. That's it.
Do that.
Send me a pic. Take a
Postcard.
picture.
Wish you were here.
Yeah, picture of a piece of popcorn being like, I dropped this on the floor. Ha ha ha. You can't have it. Something like that. I don't know.
I'm gonna take a picture of all of us laughing at Jonas and his reaction to fish within a fish. At the Sternberg.
That's a fucking national treasure. Oh, sorry. It is though, kind of sadly.
Did you know they have another one of those in the Chicago Museum of Art, and it actually credits that it was found in Hayes, Kansas, which is pretty.
Oh, that's cool. Hell
If you don't
yeah.
have to go to Chicago, you just got to come here.
Sternberg was on top of it. He was like, I can get this done. Piece of cake, right? Yeah. Found one fish in a fish, I can find another
No
fish in a fish.
problemo. Yep.
Well, Merry Christmas to all our listeners and a Happy
Absolutely.
New Year.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll be back before the end of the year, but we might. You never know. But if not, we will talk to you early next year, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll do that. I think we're getting renewed. I haven't heard the official word, but I'm pretty sure we're getting back.
Is this
Excited.
101? What show?
That's the rumor. That's
Oh, 104.
104.
Jesus Christ. Time flies when you're not
It's all
paying attention.
happening. It's all happening.
We're definitely got more original content than the original Star Trek episodes, Matt. Definitely.
That's true.
God. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Always a pleasure.
All right,
See
Merry
you
Christmas.
in 2024.
Uh,
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that's pretty good. I hadn't seen that.
Thanks.
I forgot.
We're best
mine.
friends.
It's the
Besties.
one thing I forgot. I forgot it. So apologies. Go next.